this is your first PT session.
Mhm.
And I'm using PT a little bit loosely here because clearly I am not doing an injury evaluation. I'm not treating you for various injuries you have. But what we are doing is kind of figuring out where you are and what kind of things I can help with specifically.
Okay.
The one thing that I do for absolutely everybody in
Mhm.
Exo Academy is I build you a warm up, a break, and a cool down routine, something that you can do when you're practicing
Mhm.
at tournaments, whether they're locals or big tournaments, just basically kind of putting your body in the best position possible to compete.
Okay.
But we're also like, we don't just game. So, for example, with Romanova, who does QA testing and sits for a long period of the day, we
Mhm.
went over like a whole bunch of things she can do on breaks from work. Or for Light Bright, who's a bartender.
Mhm.
I gave her a bunch of stretches that she can do while she's standing so that she's able to do that while working.
Okay.
So if you've got other things going on besides just warm up, break, and cool down while gaming, then absolutely this is the time and space to talk about it. And it
Oh,
starts out with me asking you a whole bunch of questions.
okay, great.
First one being you should probably introduce yourself to people watching this video.
Hi, I'm Corimon. I am the Wave Youmacon player for Exo Academy. And this is my week one, and I am competing in Unist.
Yes. And I have to say, of all the games I've worked with so far, Guinness is probably the one I am least familiar with. I did, however, get a crash course thanks to my fighting games Discord, which loves me dearly. Um, and we're all very excited to explain to me a new game.
Mhm.
So you'll be competing at Humicon. Let's see. First things first. What do you do outside of gaming?
So I work full time, 9 to 5. I am a
Okay.
civil CAD drafter. So
Okay. Very cool.
yeah, I really enjoy it. So I sit a lot, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. And then I do a lot of like transcripting too. I do side admin work as well.
Okay.
So I'm typing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm either like in my hands are either on the keyboard or one's on the mouse on the keyboard at
Okay.
all times.
All right. And what do you play on for Eunice? Do you play on like a stick? Do you play on a pad?
Oh, I use Hitbox.
Okay, awesome. I'm a big fan of Hitbox.
Yeah, I really like their
I love that layout.
controllers. Yeah.
I actually helped a little bit with some of the layout stuff that they did for the Smashbox. So like I've got a soft spot for those guys.
Oh, that's really
Uh,
cool.
yeah, I really love the whole initiative they're doing. And I always flinch a little bit when the inevitable argument comes back around whether, it's unfair competition. No, it's not unfair competition, damn
Oh
it.
yeah, especially with the cross up
It's
or something.
cyclical.
Yeah.
Just like I think we're currently in the cycle of we should increase like registration costs so that we can have more pot bonuses and that whole argument. So like the next argument is commentators are over or underpaid, and then the one after
Oh.
that is
Hmm.
hitbox is or is not an unfair advantage. We're in the wrong cycle right
Yeah.
now. All right. So you are sitting a lot. How much
Mhm.
would you say you practice in a given day? Or just play games generally?
I would say maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. And then it's about 8-ish hours of work, obviously lunch break and things like that.
Mm.
Okay. How often do you take a break while you're working?
Mm, not very often. I'd say maybe
Okay.
like 2 10-minute breaks.
Okay. Is that kind of like evenly spaced or just like whenever you remember or feel like taking one?
That's usually whenever I remember, whenever I'm not
Okay.
busy.
All right. And I'm guessing that does not include lunch break, hopefully.
No, no, it does not,
Okay.
thankfully.
If you were managing to eat your lunch in only 10 minutes and like actually remained a functional human being, I'd be a little bit scared.
There are definitely times I've had to work through my lunch break.
I've done the same,
Yeah, it's rough.
but I certainly would not want that to be like a regular occurrence for anybody.
Yeah, no.
All right. How about when you're playing? Do you usually take a break? Do you usually just play 2 to 3 hours through?
Yeah, I'll usually play like 2 to 3 hours through.
Okay. And I'm just taking notes as we go, as you can probably hear my mechanical keyboard ticking in the background. When you do take breaks at work, what kind of things do you do? Do you get up and get water, go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I usually get water, go to the restroom.
Okay. Ever do
Yeah.
like any stretching or anything like that?
No, not usually.
Okay. This is reminding me quite a bit of the very first Exo Academy work that I did, which was with Romanova, who was describing a similar pattern for her QA work.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that she also
You're in
sat
good
a lot,
company.
right?
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do anything in particular for exercise, walking, jogging, lifting, rock climbing?
Um, I've
None of
started
the above.
like trying to do bouldering maybe once a
Okay.
month. I
All
really
right.
enjoy it. And then also during my lunch breaks, I usually walk about a mile.
Very nice.
And then maybe once or twice a week, I'll walk home from work, and that's usually 2 miles.
Okay. Where do you work? Like city wise?
I work in downtown Seattle.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so you've got some good weather for that one, as long as it's not raining.
Yeah, as long as it's not raining. Yeah, otherwise, it'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or snowing.
Or snowing.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was out there was for a TI, and we miraculously got like no rainy days. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's my
No.
experience with Seattle too. Is like the very first time I went was TI 4,
Okay.
and yeah, there was no, it was only sun. So I was like, wow, this is a great place to live. And then I
I know.
started
And
living
then
in
you got
it.
all the rain.
Yep, yep.
I feel like the non-gaming cultural impression of Seattle
Mhm.
is usually taken from Twilight. So everybody's like, "Oh, it rains and it's overcast all the time. That's why vampires like it." I mean, it is overcast most of the time, but it's not always raining.
That's true. Yeah, it's like 90% overcast.
Yes. At least we won't get quite as much sunburn.
That's true.
All right. So bouldering once a month. That sounds fun. I'm also a rock climbing person, and I am terrible at bouldering. Top rope. I'm great. Bouldering. God, I'm terrible.
I'm not very good at bouldering either. I started a month ago, so like
Okay.
we're going to do our second session soon. But
That
I
sounds
really
fun.
enjoyed it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it's I don't know, there's a really nice kind of mental aspect to rock climbing that, there's the satisfaction of mapping out a route and then the physical success of having completed it.
Hmm.
All right. So at your setup for work,
Hmm.
does your chair have armrests on it, or do you sit more at like a drafting board?
So my chair does have armrests on it, but I don't ever use it very
Okay.
often. Yeah, I'm usually just like sitting forward a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I have like
So
a
you're kind of more like
footrest.
perched.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Footrest. Are you on the shorter side?
I am, yeah.
All right. No, you said footrest and I had to guess. I have one under my desk too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
Maybe I
4 foot
confused.
11, so.
Okay. Yeah, footrest is a really good option for those of us who are on the shorter side,
Mhm.
especially when you're sitting, because you don't want all of your weight to be distributed just through your butt. You want to be able to distribute it some of it for your feet, which
Mhm.
means feet being planted on the ground, or if you're short like us, feet being planted on a footrest. All right. Do you ever have any issues when you're playing at tournaments with kind of standard sized gaming chairs?
I do actually. Yes, when my feet dangle, it can be a
Yeah,
little
I have
bit
the same
difficult.
problem.
Yeah.
Anything in particular you found that works well for you with that? Do you sit cross-legged? Do you just come to the edge of the chair?
Yeah, I usually go to the edge of the chair until my feet are on the ground, and they're
Okay.
normally not flat. It's just like the balls of
Right,
my
but you got
feet.
like toes on the ground at least.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that is one of the tougher parts about kind of standard size gaming equipment tends to be for like your average 5'6" to 5'10" ish person,
Mhm. Yeah.
which we're not.
Yeah. So we're
We're
not.
not 5'10". We're not. All right. Do you have any current issues, pains, aches, strains, etc.?
No, not currently.
That's awesome. Anything you're kind of wary about or that you want to look out for, kind of preventing in the future?
Back when I played Melee, I would get a lot of like finger and wrist pain.
Okay.
Um, and it would come back every so often if I did like really hard transcribing at work.
Okay.
But it hasn't happened within the last, I want to say, like 6 months.
That's really good. Let's definitely keep up that trend. When you were getting that pain, was it kind of along the back of your hand along here and then up into the fingers here? Or is it
Um,
more on the front side?
More on the backside, yeah.
Okay. And was it kind of achy?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Who did you main in Smash?
I played Sheik and Falco.
Falco. There we go.
Yeah, okay. My Falco wasn't very good, but I tried.
So Matt, my coworker, and I kind of keep a general sense of pain patterns, especially when it comes to games where people have like distinct and decided mains.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely like Fox and Falcos tend to have a certain pattern.
Yeah, yeah. So I've heard.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing or a critique of them. It's just kind of a requirement of playing the character, the amount of APM,
Right.
the kind of way that you grip real tight to brace for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wouldn't surprise me if part of the reason why you also experienced or have experienced that when you were doing really long periods of transcribing is, especially if you're not using your armrest, your body needs something stable for this to be all mobile on.
Oh, okay.
And so if you're not kind of braced on armrests like this, then the bracing is going to have to come from a muscle contraction. Basically, you're going to have to hold your arm still with a muscle contraction so that this can be all mobile while this is stable.
Okay.
And that fatigues kind of quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do find yourself in the scenario at work where you know you're going to have a whole bunch of transcribing to do, maybe try scooting your chair a little bit closer so you're able to still put your feet on the footrest but have your arms on the armrest. There's the cat.
Oh, so cute.
And see if that maybe helps a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
She's cute now. Wait till next week when I'm demonstrating exercises and she's climbing all over me at the same time. Yes, we're talking about you. All right. Let's see. Do you do anything in particular now when you're gaming in terms of warm-ups or cooldowns?
No, not really.
Okay. No judgment if the answer is no, to be clear. So, like, a lot of the questions I'm asking, they're not designed to be, like, judgments or anything. They're more designed to just figure out, what are you doing right now? How well is it working for you in terms of, are you feeling pain or not? And kind of what little tweaks can I put in there that, like, boost your performance without being like a big interference. Okay. None of the things that I end up recommending should be overwhelming or should take up more than like 2 to 5 minutes at a time. But you are kind of in this really great position where you get a chance to model some really awesome behaviors, not just in terms of physical health, but also in terms of like, practice setups and how you approach the game and kind of like how you incorporate this really holistic approach, I guess. So I want to make sure that what I'm giving you is actually useful for you and not just what like I abstractly have found to be helpful and think will be helpful in your case. I need to know that it's going to fit you, basically. That's why all the questions, not to judge. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no.
All right. What other games do you play besides Unist and previously Smash?
Nothing at the. Oh, I guess Dota too. I've been playing a little bit.
Nice. Are you a support? Are you carry?
I like to do support in offlane.
Nice. Oh God, you like offlane.
I do. So I was pretty devastated when the patch changed to like 2-1-2.
It was rough on you guys.
Yeah.
one of the Discord servers that I'm in, somebody was talking about bringing back a bounty hunter carrier bounty hunter offlane build, and I was like, oh God, what year is this?
Yeah. It's strong. Yeah, let's bring back the sniper patch too while we're at it.
No, let's not. Let's never, ever, ever bring back the sniper patch ever again. I say this as a hard 5 support, please no.
Yeah, I mained support during that patch, so I definitely almost quit. Yep.
The best ranked gaming experience I ever had was actually during the sniper patch, but it was partly because we had a sniper on my team.
Oh, okay.
And partly because while playing Crystal Maiden, I accidentally left open mic on and I didn't realize it. And like, that's a thing I'm wary of doing. I'm wary of doing like of being on mic at all in ranked gaming.
Right, yeah.
It cannot always go so well. Sometimes it goes fine, sometimes it doesn't really. And I hit a 5-man freezing field and it was beautiful and it was perfect and it did the exact thing you're supposed to do when that occurs, which is start singing Let It Go at the top of your lungs. It's thematically appropriate. And then I realized that when Mike was on and all my teammates started laughing. But it worked because it was a 5-man ult and they were like, no, it's our good luck charm now. So every time you freezing field, you have to start singing or it doesn't count. And then we won the game. It was great.
Were you recording it at all?
That's the experience I've ever had.
Did you have it saved?
I did not.
Oh.
God, it was perfect.
That sounds amazing.
I know, right? I'm currently on like an ability draft kick, which is also pretty fun. But
yeah.
Very different kind of way. All right, so most of what you're playing, it sounds like, is on the hitbox. Intermittently, it's on a keyboard or keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse seem to be your primary workstation as well. So I think what I'm probably going to end up putting together. I'll put together real quick, like 2-minute long warm up, break, and cool down things.
Sure.
Just quick little things you can add in without much difficulty or change in kind of how you regularly function.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll also give you some ideas of just random things you can do on those quick little 10-minute breaks that you've got at work.
Sure.
Just things that you can do preventatively. Because right now you're not having any problems, and I'd love to keep it that way. Easiest way to keep it that way is a little bit of preventive hand health. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of stretching, a little bit of exercises. And especially if you're doing something like, bouldering every so often, and playing on an ergonomic surface, and getting this regular cardio activity, you're already in a really good spot.
Okay, great.
The one and only suggestion I'd make is, it sounds like you take breaks when you kind of remember to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be okay for you to take breaks more frequently than you do? Would there be a difficulty with getting your work done, or would anybody kind of put up a fuss?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So something that can be really helpful when you're trying to make a habit of taking breaks and doing good things on those breaks regularly
Mm-hmm.
is either setting like a landscape mark, or setting like a time mark. So either setting yourself a reminder on your phone, like, every 60, every 90 minutes, like, hey, move around a little bit. And even if all you do is just do some stretches sitting in your chair, that's still better than nothing. Or having it be the kind of thing you do every so often, like a landmark. So, after you've sent 3 emails, or after you've, I don't know, I don't know a good landmark for drafted an entire room.
Yeah.
Is that the landmark?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like finish like half
So
of my
little
work.
things like kind of building quirks and reminders into your day. Like, one of the reminders that I give a lot of my patients is, every time you walk through a doorway, check your posture. Every time you send an email, check your posture.
Okay.
Because you're not always going to have perfect posture, but if you give yourself reminders, you're going to have it more often than you don't.
Okay.
And on that note, there is no such thing as absolutely perfect posture. Your best posture is really your next posture. This is actually one of those times when being short comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Since none of the chairs are ever made for us, we tend to move around in them a lot to find the next comfortable position.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you could possibly be doing. Movement is good. Fidget all you want to.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear. Okay. Yeah.
Carry on fidgeting. All right. So here's what we'll do. Next week, we're meeting at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go over your warm-up, break, and cool-down routines.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you kind of a picture guide of just random little things you can do while you're at work, or when you're on breaks while gaming. Hi. Oh, my cat wants me to throw hair ties for her. My cat plays fetch.
Oh, so we'll bring it back?
She will sometimes. She's a cat. Let's see.
Oh, that's so precious.
Will bring back this time? Sometimes she doesn't. Because, cat. It should probably take us about half hour, 40 minutes max to go through that next week.
Sure.
And if you have any other questions between then and now, feel free to send them on Twitter, on here. I'm happy to kind of build that into something we talk about Monday, especially because this is a really great chance for folks who are tuning in to watch you to learn a little bit of health for themselves too.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll definitely think of some questions
All right.
and send them your way.
All right. And my cat has run off with the hair tie because she is a cat and that is her prerogative. On that note, I will head out for the night and talk to you next week.
Great. Sounds awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.